Mina Aissatou Soumaye Cissé, and today Sierra Network then at this police senior officers mess Kintom concerning the press conference where the Sierra Leone police call. As we then at the compound now, will they go na the hall outside the conference they take place?
May I take this opportunity to welcome all of you at this on a press briefing at the officials mess. It has been a routine, a type of routine that we address in Fourth Estate. I mean, with developments unfolding across the country. Instead of, in the present dispensation, we have social media, whoever is coming up with their own view. They say they have right to their own views and opinion. But when it comes from the appropriate authorities, I think you are adequately informed. And you can go and make an informed publications in your electronics or print media. So you are all welcome. Here, the media one is here. The IGP, of course, has delegated his authority through me to be the chairperson for this session. And as Director of Operation overseeing events across the country, I feel more honored and privileged for you to be here so that we can give you whatever we have for now. Because I believe the security sector, also the SAP and the Fourth Estate, are two sides of the coin. Either way, they are relevant. It is through you that you educate, entertain, and inform the public. And because of that, you have a huge stake to play in order that our society, gullible as it is because of our low level of literacy as compared to Zimbabwe and others in the African region, it's not everybody can actually can read between the lines constructively and apprehend and analyze issues objectively without being moved by opinions of individuals. So today, the others will join me as this meeting, this press conference will be progressing, but we will start the ball rolling myself with the media one to engage you. Of course, during this reporting period to you, you have heard about the recent incident, which is now at the forefront of in public view. It is now in public domain. It's no longer a secret. It's in public domain, the incidents in the Northeast, specifically Makeni City. So we are here. A lot of things are coming through the social media, which I am not here to say that they are erroneous or they are right. This depends on your own analysis of the issue and objective assessment for you to come up that, no, this is an opinion. This is a fact. There is a difference between opinion and facts. But most often, it's a culture, it's a tradition developing in our society. People with oratorical power can twist things in their own favor to follow so that people can accept it as the truth or the fact. But we are here to acquaint you with what we know and what has happened up to this moment so that you can go about to inform the general public about it. So on that, with these few remarks, I want to rest here. It's not a speech making, but to allow the media, my counterpart media one, to start the process immediately by giving up what we are here for, of course, for crime. Ramaja is not here, but the main major issue of crime for now I know people will be interested in the ADP leader, ADP, is it ADP?
Yeah.
Mohammed Kamarimba Mansari issue. I think for now for crime, that's another major one we have at hand, which is attracting public domain. So myself with Media One can throw light on that. Whilst Ibrahim Ariga is here, the Director of Crime Services, it will be in a better position. But we do know, because as I have told you, with my position, I'm afraid with events going across the country, because I'm getting reports on a daily basis from all the divisions and the regions in the country. So with that, I pause for this moment and allow Media One to start the process. Thank you very much for your audience.
Thank you very much, sir. We have to give you some gifts with regards to McKinney. Of course, like the chairperson said, we are all aware of the present situation. It is already in the public domain. So we cannot concoct stories. We cannot come with new stories. What we have to do now is to give you the latest update. And the latest update is as clear as daylight. Remember, at some point we told you we have 51 people in our custody whom we arrested during the incident. And as I speak, these guys are still with us at the CID, and they are now helping us still with the investigation. So, in other words, the investigation is still ongoing. They are being probed into to see what we can get from them, and then possibly if there is a case against them, then we can take them to court. But if there is no case against them, then we can still release them. You know, because taking somebody to court is for the purposes of prosecution and not to persecute. Understand? We take them to court to prosecute. And you take somebody to court simply because you are looking for conviction. And so if you are sure you are not going to get conviction, then there is no need for you to take that person to court. So that's the latest development. There might be some other angles, or there might be some other strides taken by some other people, but that is not the focus. The focus here is what the police is doing and what is the current situation. So they are with us, and there is an ongoing investigation looking into the entire incident itself. So that one is okay, and that one is up and running. And of course, the issue of the ADP leader. Of course, we had a report on the 17th. That was last Friday. Somebody made a report on behalf of a 15-year-old girl, school-going girl, living in Kono. The report was made, and it has to do with sexual penetration. And then he was positively accused. You know, we have the law. If you look at the Section 13 of the Criminal Procedure Act, number 32 of 1965, it says if somebody is positively accused of having committed a felony, and in this case, the felony we are talking about here is sexual penetration. And that one is contrary to the amended Sexual Offences Act of 2019. And so, because one, we were able to ascertain the age of the girl who made the report, we have the birth certificate, and secondly, we are able to obtain statement from her, and we have been able to corroborate some of most or all of the things she told us, and we are still moving on. We also have a medical report to confirm that indeed she was penetrated, and so on the basis of that one, we decided that we must bring Mohammed Kamarimba Mansari to come and answer to the allegations. Don't forget, the law says every man is presumed to be innocent until that individual is found guilty by a competent court of law. And so for that reason, if allegations are made against you, it becomes your responsibility to come and answer to those allegations. And so he did promise he was going to report. After we've been trying to get him, on Monday we didn't succeed. And we tried on Tuesday, in the early hours we also didn't succeed. But at some point, he was able to reach us, and he told us he was going to appear at the CID at 1 o'clock. And at 5 minutes after 1, he appeared together with his lawyers, submitted himself to the police, and then we are now taking him through the process. So the investigation is still ongoing. You know, when it comes to investigation, there is one key area, the aspect of corroboration. If I say something, somebody has to come and confirm. This is why we say corroboration is talking about additional confirming evidence, which is required in certain cases, either by law or by practice, in order for you to convict somebody. So therefore, based on the testimony, based on the statement made by the school-going girl, there is need for us to tie up that statement with other things. So it is ongoing, it is moving, and I'm sure when we are done with that one, we will have to come back and inform you that indeed this is the step we've taken and this is the point we've reached so far. The other day somebody was even asking, when is he going to be granted bail? Are we going to allow him to go? You know, if you're talking about the Sexual Offences Act of 2012, you could be talking about bail. But the one we have now, there is no provision for that one. So which means somebody has to be in our custody. And the offense, like I said, is a very serious one. So this is why we are pursuing it. We have the power under Section 17, subsection 1F of Act number 6 of 1991 for somebody who is positively accused or somebody who is suspected of having committed a crime or being about to commit a crime. That is the law of the land, the Constitution. So this is why he's not been detained. So he's been detained as per the prescription of the law. So this is why we have him. We are making sure that we are going to be very fair, going to be very objective, so that at the end of the day, when we conclude our matter and we go to court, what we hope for is to get conviction. Because the law says, don't forget, under the burden of proof, that it becomes the responsibility of the prosecution to prove its case beyond all reasonable doubt. That's a very high bar, very high standard set. So this is why, because we know that we are alleging, and the law says you who allege must prove, we are alleging. So this is why we are taking the extra steps to make sure that we tie up everything. And then at the end of the day, if you are convinced that Mohammed Kamaremba Mastaye had committed a crime, we now accuse him. For now, he's a suspect. So this is why we now accuse him, say he becomes an accused person. Because when you take somebody to court, you no longer call that person a suspect. He or she becomes what? An accused person. So for now, he's not being accused yet. He is still a suspect. So when we are convinced that he has a case to answer, and then he becomes an accused person because we are not taking him before the court. So for the details so far, with regards to Mr. Mastaye, this is what we have for you. Except otherwise, you want further clarifications, we can still provide those ones. We are ready at all times to talk to the press. One thing I know about the press, they say the people always have the right to know. And because the people have the right to know, it becomes the responsibility of the press to make them know. So this is why we are opening ourselves to scrutiny. We talk to people, we allow people to ask us questions, so at the end of the day, we let you know what we are doing. Accountability and transparency is part of our job. So if I'm given the opportunity, I might come again. But this is what I have, and I want you to thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. As a rejoinder to the McKinney issue, the people in custody he has mentioned, the 51, they are not targeted on any basis of association, affiliation, social groupings, or whatsoever. The police all over the world, especially in a democratic setting, have the right, when there is a commission of an offense, the police will apply what we call the judge's reward in discovering the author of an offense, of a crime. The police have no objection in getting to whosoever that may involve, contacted, from which useful information will be obtained to assist with the police investigation. It is purely that we are following. It is not based on any association. The arrest is not based on any association or tribal or whatever affiliation. It's based on principles of law. Purely, this is the judge's rule, I'm saying. At the end, if among all of those in custody, the one that is not, the investigation has not established strongly with him to what has occurred, the incident that occurred, they may release him. If not, if they are all strongly connected, then the law will take its course. The law will take its course. Now, it's under investigation. Whatever at the end of the day, it's not going to end. We are investigating. And the people who interpret the law is the judiciary. It's a different organ of government, independent of the executive and the legislative. They will take their own step in addressing that issue. So that is what I have to make it clear, that it's not because of tribal affiliations, it's not because of social affiliations, or whatsoever religious affiliations. So I want to make that clear. So I will rest my case.
As another listen to waiting the head of media and public relations at the Sierra Leone Police don't talk about different matters where they under investigation. Well, now so the press conference become to an end for today. Me wake up with this program to not today. Me your name na Aissatou Smile Cissé. Until we meet again to another press conference, I say tata.